What's up, Bears fans? And welcome to Mind on Bears. And I'm your host, MindOnBears. We're here bringing you that true Bears fan perspective. And huge shout out to all of the coverage we have with the Bears right now, from Family Games Quest to so much more, Fest to so much more. We have Bear Den Live and Dave BFR for some of today's camp clips. So definitely make sure you show them some love. They've been killing it in the field. And yeah. Without further ado, let's get into it. I have Caleb Williams. Let's start this off with QB1. Overall, Caleb Williams doing his damn thing. We're going to start off with the good clips, and then we'll head to the bad ones. How about we go there? This dude is talking like a vet at the end of the day. He straight up feels like, the realness between Ben Johnson and so many of these other situations has been very different. Ben Johnson's even willing to bench him. So right here, we're able to see that Caleb Williams has a nice play to DJ Moore. Real nice route ran. And actually, this was a nice, tight defense by the defender right here. You'll actually see that DJ Moore is a little locked up, but hits him, bang. Beautiful work. Now, when I saw this tape, I was like, ooh, this is not necessarily the best to see DJ Moore get up this slow. And I was like, oh no, please tell me he's good. It looks like he was perfectly fine. He just a little shook up, just like anybody else would be. Moving along, we have also a nasty route cooked up by Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson's been cooking up some nasty routes, and I can't wait to see what he does with the tight ends and the wide receivers of this team. Luther Burden, Cole Kmet, DJ Moore. It's going to be crazy what they end up doing. So this right here, we have a nice, nice route ran by Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet right here, as you can even tell by the opening of it. The zone that you see here itself, you have the safety being backed out, meaning Brisker. He was kind of going with that defender to the right. And then also you want the linebacker right here in this situation to actually take up this space. You were hoping that he didn't. And since he didn't, right there, once you've seen the linebacker take that little step back, boom, oh, let's go. Hits Colston. Look at the anticipation. I need you all to notice the anticipation. The ball, bang, already out of Caleb's hands. Already out of his hands. The anticipation on the route, believing that your receiver will be there. Bang, bang. Beautiful route. That's what you need. Colston is definitely showing up the whole time. And that's what I was into. I was like, yeah, I see. Ben Johnson definitely wants to show why he has this new weapon, this new asset in Colston. Because at the end of the day, he's got a handle of the playbook at the end of the day. So it makes it more potent for everybody at the end of the day, because when you have Caleb Williams, Cole Kmet, Colston Loveland, and weapons that you can just scatter around like Luther Burden and such, it's over with. It becomes much more dynamic field. Also, they have a nice option here with Kyle Manungai. And Kyle Manungai has already shown that he's a bruiser. Big boy back, and I can't wait to see exactly what Ben Johnson has for him. Now, one thing I will say is I'm looking for him to have a little bit better vision, but he's definitely in there getting those 3 to 4 yards. Simple. That's very easy. It's something that Roshan wasn't doing, and I thought that Roshan Johnson was going to do that, Rojo, and he didn't. So here we have the route with Rojo in them. Not Rojo, sorry, Kyle Manungai. Boom, handoff by Caleb. Boom, hits the hole, takes it. Touchdown. Very simple. Very simple. Hits the hole with enough ferocity out here for you to believe that he should be able to do this consistently throughout his time in the league. And big shout out to the rest of the Bears fans able to make it out there for this event. This event was something that was sold up very quickly. Everyone was on it when those tickets were there. They said the tickets were available and then they were gone, just like that. So I think that people bought tickets and then they thought that there might be some, naysayers for the tickets, and everyone came to the, check it out and everything. So we have Jaquan Brisker and Kevin Byard here. They were on a double safety blitz. They definitely made sure that they gave that pressure to Caleb. Now, one thing I will say here, I noticed in a lot of these plays, you'll have Swift in. DeAndre Swift will be within these plays, and he's letting Caleb get blown up. There's actually going to be a special play that you'll see a little bit later on. I don't know if Swift's being told to let defenders in now. You can see that he picks up a defender here, but that's not the defender that needed to be picked up, that type of thing. But you'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute. So here Caleb was just trying to actually run the play itself. When things like that happens, it is what it is. Here's the same situation where we have Caleb having a lot of defensive pressure. Watch the running back. Here, this one's on Roshan. Boop. Roshan Johnson right there. He's good. This is the window. That's it. This is all Caleb had to see. Right here. This window, bang, bang, pop it in right here. Pop it in right here. He did it. He hitched right in that moment. In the moment that he hitched is right where he needed to bang it. Right where he needed to put it right here. And that was it. Now, when they say moment of frustration, no, he's just throwing the ball dead. He's just kind of like, damn, that's about it. I can't do nothing with it. They're blowing it dead. I can't still continue to play. They're considering me sacked. So I wouldn't necessarily say Caleb was frustrated in these moments. But one thing that I will say is that Caleb definitely had more of a, he's got a hesitation. I don't quite, it's basically, I don't think he believes in these receivers enough. And I don't believe that the receivers are helping Caleb enough. Now, they're not getting as much separation as they need to and things of that such. So, I mean, that manner. So it's not necessarily working out. And we're trying to figure out if Caleb is going to be a shotgun guy or under the center. If he's going to be under the center, then, it's all good because we'll focus on that. But if he's going to be shotgun, then it's all good. We'll focus on that. But we still have to figure out what we're doing with Caleb and what type of games we're going to structure it around and what type of, art we're going to have with this. Because at the end of the day, you have dudes like Colston Loveland. And that dude is ridiculous, okay? He is ridiculous. You see him. His frame is crazy, okay? Period, point blank. Caleb Williams, man, being sick is not necessarily a good thing. Sorry about that. Caleb Williams threw the ball kind of high earlier in the week during the practice, and he caught it anyway. And even here, as you can see with Colston Loveland, that route right there, bap, them little tat 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 tat, that little tat 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 tat, little tat tat. Hey, for my gamers out there, L2. He tapped L2 real quick. You know what I'm saying? He just tapped L2. He hit L2. He just hit him real quick. It's beautiful work. You have talent like him out here. They're big. You want your tight end to read the defense. He's already shown that he can block and that he can create that yak. So he's got definitely that star potential. I mean, realistically, sad to say, once again, I'm still a Cole guy. I'm a Cole guy all day, right? But I see Colston being the guy. I'd see Colston being the number one, Cole being the number two, as I said many episodes ago. And us just having a dynamic team for a very, very, very long time. And one thing I've noticed too, they're all taking notes. Caleb Williams is taking notes of the haters, so he knows, he's all right, he's paying attention, and that's a good thing. He needs to pay attention to these haters out here, especially some of the Bears fans. I don't quite understand exactly why we hate on our quarterbacks. We try to find more issues than good things at times, especially with the media as a whole. But it's kind of what happens at this point. They don't necessarily think of too much. And also on Wally and Sylvie, Caleb, he was talking about the staff holding everyone accountable. He locked in and becoming the master of the system, not just a participant. He wants to make sure that he's more of a conductor. He wants to make sure this is his offense. This is what he came here for, and this is what Ben Johnson came here for, to make it his offense. So if he can do that and make the haters understand that, hey, I got you clocked, man, and you can't necessarily mess with me, it's a little over at that point, definitely big time. And when you have the arrival of people such as here, we got a play by Luther Burden in training camp. Now, this right here is what I'm talking about. You have dynamic players like Luther Burden out here that can make plays like this, extremely smooth, beautiful plays. Big shout out once again. Oh man, that's what you want: concentration and dedication. That's it. That's all we're looking for overall. If we can get more of that, that's good. And so, as it was during day 7, I mean, there was a nasty catch by Roman Dunze over Cal Orton. So that was a great thing to see. They showed up early to camp, synced with the quarterback, and it definitely pays off when that happens at the end of the day. They even talking about putting Luther Burden potentially at some punt returner situation, so that could be nice and very dangerous with his ability to, have that burst and that agility. It's over with at times, especially with dynamic people like that. Look at Hightower, the way that Hightower was talking about him. We're definitely looking to see how much more he has to bring to us, because this is still the beginning for Luther Burden. Think about it. He was upset. First round pick. He knew he was a first rounder. At the end of the day, there was nothing more that people could do but respect Luther Burden in a lot of aspects. And sometimes Luther Burden came around as arrogant, a little bit arrogant in his situation. And guess what? That's just because of how the media projects it at times. And then also he has that RBF, so he has to work on that as just as well as, just executing within that book, because we heard earlier within the week that he definitely wasn't getting it. But now it looks like he's doing, not too bad at all. So moving along, we actually had a play here. DJ Moore looks like he's used more as a dynamic piece within the offense. That's something that I'm looking forward to. When it comes down to having more pieces within your offense, you want more. You want to be able to have that, how should I say, Debo mentality. You want to be able to use in different situations and different contexts. So right here, you have DJ Moore taking a handoff here on the play. And with this handoff here, it actually gets him a touchdown. And this kind of brings us into the lights of what we may do with the offense. And different players are doing different things with teams. But look at that. Boom, handoff at running back, DJ Moore. It's kind of crazy to see him there. I don't believe that he's going to have some type of position change or anything like that. I can just see that DJ Moore is just used for what he is. Fast, elusive, can find holes, and he's wiggly. So he's making sure that he gets his yards regardless. He gets his touches regardless. Because sometimes he might not be able to, get the ball thrown to him. So just like this right here, you just got to hand it off to him. And DJ Moore is right there. So now it's going to be interesting to see how this, works out at the end of the day. It's going to be very nice. I'm looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to it. Now, one thing I will say, when you're looking at this, Bears fans, I want you to pay attention to something. Sports is a very funny thing. This could be the Bears just putting this out here to then do a play action from this to throw it over the head to someone over to the left, to whoever's cutting, which is Luther Burden right here on the route. Look at Burden. Boom. Caleb can hold it. Boom. Toss it straight to Burden, because Burden happened to be by himself on this route from any other defenders looking at it. So there's so much more you got to look at from this perspective. Ben Johnson is cooking. He is cooking something crazy when it comes out to his plays and his overall dimensions that he's doing. And for a quick stop, the NFL has actually had a rule change when it comes down to the teams. They have 3 padded games, and 3 padded practices. Overall, they can't have them back to back. So, that was very interesting to see throughout the week. And if you haven't already, definitely make sure that you show that love and support by smashing that like button and subscribing. This has been a great time showing that love and support to you all as Bears fans. I know I've been a little bit off on my timing and, trying to get these things out here. And apparently YouTube isn't working out with me, but we'll get this going. We'll definitely get this going, family. And moving on. We got a nasty play here. This is another perspective. Once again, big shout out to Bearden and Dave on these clips, man. Definitely showing some love to that community, man. They've been, one of the best communities ever when it comes down to having your Bears reporters out here, or just people that really have that passion for the Bears, showing their thing. Me, I would love to do that myself, but that's not necessarily in the realm of my multiverse at this current moment. So I'm definitely happy and appreciate all this information that we're getting from these sources. So checking out this next one. This is actually another angle from that Colston pass. And boop, bam. So beautiful. Nothing you could do about that. Nothing but a hole. Right here, you see Rome working on the backside. That would have been nice. Definitely would have been nice to see him hit on that backside, but this is even better. 1-2, bang. Because it was a very quick play. If you think about it, Caleb did nothing when it came down to time. 1-2, pop. 1-2, pop. 1-2, pop. 1-2, back leg, pop.
There we go.
Back leg, pop.
There we go.
This is Zacchaeus. You gotta love it. You gotta love it when you have the proper players coming into the team and they're actually able to contribute in the ways that you're looking for them to contribute. Because a lot of times you see players that aren't necessarily showing up, and players like Zacchaeus, he's been showing up in Washington and he showed up here. As you can tell right here, we have a play where Caleb Williams hits Zacchaeus on a quick, extremely quick screen route. A lot of times last year, Justin Fields and Caleb Williams was using DJ Moore as the screener, right? He was a screen guy. Boom. Instant. Watch the burst. Bam. It's going to be nice to see that option used every now and then with Zacchaeus. It's just my thing is if we keep Zacchaeus and we keep Burden and we keep JP and we keep Tyler Scott and we keep it's just so many players. Jackson, the Bears we got weapons right now. It looks like weapons, right? We got to use it. We got to utilize them. We got to make sure that we're being proper about it at the end of the day. I left this on here because I definitely want people to understand there's no real true frustration with Caleb Williams in this situation. The defense was just killing it. They were doing their thing. They had standouts all up on the defensive line. They were stuffing the run. They were making the running backs work for every single yard. Tyler Scott and Zacchaeus are still battling for wide receiver 3 and 4. And we got an update on Jalen Johnson. So he's targeting week 1 for his return. So that's good to know. But I don't know exactly if we're going to have Jalen Johnson back in time to get in sync with this defense. But hey, he's saying he wants to be more man cornerback. So this should work out. He should just be able to come out here and drill as long as he's healthy, do his thing and not have to worry about anything at all. But sad to say, with people like JP out here, Tyler Scott might be losing his job, man. He need to get his weight up. Seriously. Rome. Yeah, man. Bears got weapons, man. Bears have weapons. And if you agree with me, definitely make sure you let me know down there in the comments. And if you disagree, let me know as well. That's what I want to know. This is what we're here for. We're here to grow and, kind of understand each other on a whole nother level. There was a situation, a very tense moment where, Luther Burden was somewhat benched, and it's just because of the fact that he didn't pay attention to the plays, and they expected him to be more prepared, as I said earlier. We're expecting a little bit more. He didn't necessarily get pulled from the rep. He was just lined up wrong. So they had to make sure that, hey, you were lined up wrong. Move. We got to keep it pushing. That's it. He's got to know his stuff. Luther Burden said it himself. He holds everyone to a high standard, and he holds himself to a high standard. So he wants to make sure that he does that, and he loves that accountability. It's a tone setter. So at the end of the day, having a finally having a coaching staff that gives some pressure and actually holds some accountability is what the Bears fans have been wanting. We've been wanting accountability since Jay Cutler and Mark Trestman, okay? Because we've been like, why is Jay Cutler on the sidelines looking healthy, but then he quit. He quit on us. And that was the thing. Jay Cutler, his biggest thing was he just didn't care about a lot of stuff. So it kind of just, it was what it was, at the end of the day. They just kind of left it just like that. And we're kind of just left here with like, okay, I guess it is what it is. Like Bears fans. Either way, new era, new time. So yeah, Caleb Williams wasn't actually frustrated upon this route. I don't believe so. This right here was definitely a great throw by Caleb Williams to DJ Moore. DJ Moore was making sure that he stayed available in this route. Now, one thing with this undercut route, I noticed that I guess we're trying to see exactly what we can do with this offensive line. Pay attention to the line itself. Boom. Bad play. Ozzie. Ozzy's been getting ate up every now and then. Not as much as Amagaji, because guess what? Amagaji hasn't been here. So we haven't been able to see what Kirian Amagaji has been able to do for us, our left tackle that we drafted last year. But yeah, Ozzy Trapillo has definitely left a lot of situations. Still a couple question marks, but he's definitely still a great asset. I would say at the end of the day, he's much more of a bruiser than Jenkins has been. I could say that for sure. Jenkins, we were really just giving Jenkins props for stuff that we never actually seen. Realistically, he was brutish every now and then, and that was it. That was it. We just gave him that profile because he used to be it in college. And make sure you see my air quotes. He's no longer that anymore. So to see this by Trapilla just a little bit off, That was 1-2, boom. He was already off of you. Now, right here, you would believe Caleb should be able to find something. Wide receivers, he needs help. Get off the routes. Become more available. Right here, he could have hit Zacchaeus. He was more off of the route, but he wanted to hit DJ. DJ, beautiful hands. Beautiful hands. But once again, it looked like he was hurt on this play. I was like, oh no. Oh no, please no. Please no. Don't be hurt, DJ. Don't be hurt. Like I said, we're getting these true Bears fans reactions. Also, if you would like to see my game reactions, you can definitely show up live to the YouTube and to the Twitch. That's where I do my live game reactions to all the games of the NFL. This year, we'll be trying to do every single one of them. So when we're looking at the overall of the team, we've had a lot of people showing up in the camp. And during the game at the Family Fest itself, we've had different players show up themselves in different manners. I wanted to show you this here. Played by JP. JP, look, man, I don't care about what people are saying on the internet about how this man looks or anything like that. He looks like a football player. That's what he looks like to me. Running the route, watch him on this crosser. Bang. Oof, beautiful. Beautiful pass by Caleb right over the defender's head. Anticipated that throw, too, at the end of the day because the throw was actually out of his hands at this point. Here, the defender could have turned, grabbed, caught it. Nope. Beautiful pass. Now, that right there is some speed. I like that makeup speed by that defender. Who is that? Instant turnaround. $43. Nice. I don't quite know the numbers all the way. I know most of them. But good pursuit by 43. Instantly turned around and yeah. That was amazing. It was definitely amazing. And when it comes down to from day 7 all the way to 11 and Family Fest, I'm seeing the Bears have a lot of things to change. My top takeaways right now is Caleb's mentality overall, his growth. I mean, I'm happy to see that his vocal growth. It's that franchise quarterback stuff. It really is. Then you have Colston Loveland with his tight end 1 potential. He's faster than a lot of people expected. A whole lot of people expected when it comes down to it. You don't necessarily think that some players have what you think they have until you see it, and you're like, whoa. Especially in the NFL. So yes, they're fast, but it's even faster on this end of it all. You know, and then we have different plays by Cole Kmet here. You can actually see this is a fantastic drawn up route by Ben Affleck. I said Ben Affleck. Haha. I hope those like that up in the comments. Just being funny. But Ben Johnson, a beautiful play built up. Let me go ahead and get to a little bit closer so you can see it a little bit more. Beautiful play. No one's there. The whole defense, everyone's just looking this side and that side. Now, the thing is, he kind of made Dennis Allen feel a type of way after this. He definitely did. He definitely did. And Dennis Allen started eating up Caleb so bad. But this was definitely nice to see at the end of the day. Boom! Let's go. Candy time. Let's go. Beautiful. Beautiful. And that was right with the defender in his face. Good work. Beautiful work. Beautiful work with that play by Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson has showed enough that we understand that as Bears fans, we got it. We got it. We just got to put it all together. Here, of course, the same thing. He says that he runs like Pachenko. Me, I don't necessarily believe he runs like Pachenko, but I do believe he's a bruiser back to a certain extent. But I think that Kyle in some open space can be damaging. Truly, especially with the way the defenders are today. He's small. He's a small guy, and that's not being insulting at all. I can truly see him doing some things, and then seeing that Kyle had most of the first team reps a good majority of the time throughout practices and things, I was happy to see that too. It was very nice to see that. I mean, second team and first team reps, you know, like he was there majority of the time. That's the same play to DJ. I didn't know that I had that up there. So As we all know, we're going to go ahead and leave it at the bad. Not leave it, but we're going to go ahead and cap it off with the bad. Right here, Caleb Williams tries to do a little bit more than not. But what I want you to do is pay attention to the running back, pay attention to the line itself. Boom. You see this? You see this right here? This is already in Caleb's face. There's nothing put off of the steam of this defender right here. Nothing whatsoever. Nothing put off the steam of the defender. Boom. Once he engages him, no one's off their, well, maybe potentially Colston, but Colston just got off the line, so Caleb's not looking to him. But in general, no one else is off their route, and he's already off the defender. He can see that he's off of Swift. This is not on Caleb. This right here, I believe Caleb was trying to do a little bit more, so yes, it's slightly on him, but it's not all the way, meaning 80% of it, not on him. That 20% is a hard on Caleb. Pause. He wanted to give it to Loveland. He was trying to give Loveland a chance. Or potentially...
Oh, no.
Oh, wow. Scott. Because right here, he knew that Loveland was breaking off his route, but he might have been throwing it too high.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I believe that was to Loveland because that was a bit high. So I think he saw Loveland, thought that Loveland would have got some separation, wanted to throw it to him just a little bit of distance because he thought that Loveland would have been able to track it. You know, potentially, but I don't know. He also seen the over route.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, no. Big shout out to Bearden. Big shout out to Bearden Live, man. The defense has been terrifying once again against the run. It's been a great one to see. DJ might be within that Debo Samuel role, so I'm interested to see exactly what the Bears have to give with him. DJ, I don't see him being limited whatsoever. Let me say that for one. Okay? Put it out here, Bears fans. DJ is going to have and get his, period, point blank. He's too big of a weapon. Too big of a weapon. We're not worried about that. And so that's all with the recap, Bears fans. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me know. Should Luther Burden be within the punt returning team? Is Colston Loveland fit to be tight end 1 or 2 at the end of the day? Or should he be tight end 3 and we really just, get someone else in there while he's being a rookie? I don't know about all that. And who's your pick for wide receiver 3 and 4? That's going to definitely be an interesting one. I don't know exactly how that's going to go. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell for weekly Bears breakdowns, game previews, and reactions. Caught live here and on Twitch. As always, Bear down.